Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to dive into a video covering how to not hurt your back doing deadlifts. It's one of the more common adages in the gym, like, oh, I hurt my back deadlifting, or even like this notion that deadlifts are dangerous. So I want to go over what are some common things that you're going to see with traditional deadlifts that most people are doing that might cause you some back discomfort, or if your back is hurting doing deadlifts, some things to look at. I have a case study here with my client, Heather. I have some videos of her from way back with where her deadlift started. She had a pretty common issue where she would hurt her back doing deadlifts, and now how they look currently, where they look very good. She's doing more weight, no back pain. So we'll cover some of the things that she was doing wrong on video and talk about how that has progressed to where she is now with no back pain. Watch a few reps here of Heather's deadlift. This was from over a year ago now at this point. So again, this is not terrible. Her goal is not to power lift in a competition. Notice rep number 2 looks way better. Talk about why that might be. Rep 3 looks okay as well. What's the big difference here between rep 1 off the ground? She kind of gets jerked forward, right? See the shoulders and the head just kind of jerk forward off the ground. What's the difference between that and this next rep that we're going to see where it's a lot more smooth, right? Right here, we're not going to see it again. Well, with a deadlift starts with a concentric pull, right? Most lifts that we do, think Romanian deadlifts, think even squat and bench press, we're starting with an eccentric or a lowering phase to the lift. It's a little bit easier to organize ourselves into positions when we go through a slower eccentric versus with a concentric lift. We kind of have to create tension in the bar off the ground and be where we need to be as soon as we start producing force. A lot of people struggle with what's called the wedge here. So looking at a deadlift, we'll traditionally call it like a pull. It's like a pulling motion. Really, I call it a push. It's a push and a pull together. So we need to be able to pull the slack out of the bar with our shoulders, with our lats, really. And we need to be able to push into the ground at the same time to create pre-tension so that we don't shoot forward like this. Classically, what you're going to hear is with a barbell, you'll hear a click as they pick the bar up. You'll hear that click all at once. If you watch the second rep right here, or the third rep, whatever the next one is, you won't hear that same click because there's already tension pulled out of the bar. So typically what will happen is we'll get shot forward like this. We'll get a little bit out of position. We'll get some tweakiness through our back if you're somebody who's experiencing back discomfort while doing this. This is not to say that you're going to hurt your back doing deadlifts like this, but if your back does hurt doing deadlifts and your deadlifts look like this, we should probably fix that. Now, overall, we're also not going to pick up much weight. Is that a strong position? To me, having my hips shoot up and getting thrown forward a strong position. What's really happening here? It's like, well, we're going from this position off the ground where I have pretty good knee flexion and hip flexion together. What am I doing with the deadlift? I'm just trying to move the bar. I'm not trying to bias glutes or hamstrings or quads. I'm trying to organize myself in the best manner possible to move the most weight as possible. So what are some things we should see here? Well, I should see my hips and knees kind of extending together. When I get shot forward like this, what happens? I get knee extension first, and then I get hip extension. Those things aren't synced up very well. I'm not going to pick up as much weight as possible as opposed to when I sync those things up there together. So from a logistics standpoint or economy standpoint of actually getting the bar off the ground and being strong, we still want to focus on this very same thing. Now, if we go to a new clip here, this was from, I want to say last week, we're going to see she does a much better job right there locking in. It's all one motion, right? All one motion off the ground, hips and knees go together. Bam, hips and knees go together. We have, I think the last video was 225. This is like 245. So it's more weight, doing more reps with better form, which would be ideal, and then no more back pain. So I think she's wearing a belt here. We could give or take the belt, right? The belt is not there as a band-aid. I believe the belt was there for the other video as well. Another thing we can look at too is just like from a deadlift position, we don't want our shoulders to be too far back or too far forward. So what we were seeing actually with Heather over here was her shoulders were ending up too far forward over the bar. Give it a second. Bam, too far forward over the bar. Right, so we want our center of mass to be kind of over our midfoot. Here, her shoulders and her head are way out in front of her midfoot. If we go over here to this example I had pulled up, I love that I searched deadlift ouch. That's what I was trying to get out of that. If we go over here, shoulders are behind the bar, right? Our center of mass is far too back versus right here. If you watch how this guy's set up, we have shoulders kind of right in front of the bar going right over the midfoot. So our center of mass is organized in a strong position where we're going to have good economy of movement, right? Or good efficiency of movement, I should rather say. We can talk about spinal mechanics right here. Like typically, I don't love the idea of having a ton of arch with the head looking up. I think neutral spine is something people get wrong. Like, oh, you need to be locked in exactly firm in a line like this. Like some flexions can be very good. I think if we go over here and look at like, this is Thor Jorgensen, I believe. Yeah, like Thor's curved through his spine and he's picking up probably 1,000 pounds right there. Like it's not a bad thing. So that means some efficiency of movement, but I would say at the point where we are getting way too much movement through the spine, we're probably not getting movement somewhere else that we should be, or not getting efficiency of movement somewhere else that we should be. Again, right here, homeboy's knees are locked out, the bar is still on the ground. So generally speaking, Shoulders should be over our midfoot, or they should not be behind the bar. They shouldn't be too far in front of the bar. You want to find that, sweet spot that's just right. We want to build a wedge into the bar, which is going to be a push and a pull together. And then transitioning into a Romanian deadlift, what are some things that we should be looking for? Kind of the same thing, right? I don't want my toes coming off the ground, right? So if my shoulders are behind the bar for a deadlift, my toes might be coming off the ground, or it might be too heel heavy. I don't love the idea of being super heel heavy. Again, I want my center of mass through my midfoot. That's going to go right up and nice up to my belly button. I'm just going to be in a stronger position overall for me to produce force, which is what I want to do on a deadlift. So I don't want toes coming up. That's going to be a no-no. And then what I also don't want is just to have a ton of arch through my spine. Now, anterior pelvic tilt, not the devil, right? This lumbar curve right here, not the devil. Toes off the ground, the devil. We can do these things just fine. But if I'm trying to clear up some back discomfort, I know I'm moving somewhere that's not through my hips. I'm moving through my lumbar spine. I'm hinging through my knees, right? These are things that I don't want. I want to be in a strong position and produce a lot of force and manage those forces well through muscles and not through joints, right? So if I were to go through that checklist, I want to make sure I have nice, good midfoot pressure. Typically, I'll cue the head forward. This is a counterbalance, right? If I'm shifting my center of mass back in space, my weight goes into my heels if I can't maintain that midfoot pressure. My head is also back. That's pulling me back. I want to just move my head forward. That's going to give me a better counterbalance to pull my weight from here into my midfoot right there. So really, when people are getting back discomfort when they're doing deadlifts or hinging, we're just mismanaging force or mismanaging movement somewhere, right? We're not being as efficient or effective as we should with the things I just mentioned. So with deadlifts, let's make sure we get nice, good midfoot pressure. With RDLs, nice, good midfoot pressure, really, so we can be in a strong position to produce force and also move through our hips better. With deadlifts in particular, make sure we're really wedging well. So it's a push and a pull. Don't just pull the bar off the ground. Make sure you're wedging, you're getting some tension through with your lats, and you're also pushing off of the ground. I'll even cue clients to almost think about squatting the weight up. I don't necessarily want that, but I want lots of leg drive. I think leg drive is an awesome cue, or push the floor away is an awesome cue for deadlifts. And then for RDLs, I just don't set up with a ton of stripper ass. Like, generally get to a neutral pelvis, get the head slightly forward, and make sure we're maintaining midfoot pressure. If your back's bugging you and you try those things, you're probably going to clear up a lot of the issues that you're experiencing. If you guys do like this video, please do me a favor as well. Like the video, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next. Let me know what exercises that you think are either bubble wrapped or called dangerous, or people don't execute very well. And I'll do another video on those in the future. If you guys are interested in online coaching, there's a link down below. Same with advisory services for coaches. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you guys next time.